Hi, I'm Adam, and this is a review and tutorial of the X-rite Color Checker Passport video. That's kind of a mouthful, isn't it, for what essentially is like a fancy way to white balance your camera and to get better colors out of it. And that's really what I would consider this to be. This is like white balancing 2.0. So I hope by this point you all are already using something like this target here to white balance your shots. What the color checker does is each one of these little colored panels is set to a high degree standard that programs like DaVinci Resolve can read and then interpolate all the colors in an image based on the absolute values of these colors here. So it works sort of in the same way that you would white balance a shot, where you'll set your custom white balance in the camera using either a gray or a white card, and then you might start rolling with that in frame so that you can use your little eyedropper tool in your nonlinear editor to grab that color. This takes it a little step beyond, and you hold this up in addition or instead of that, and so that you can then grab these colors. So the first step to making this happen is to open both your nonlinear editor as well as DaVinci Resolve. You'll want to import all of the clips you're going to be working with. Since this is just a tutorial, I just have this one clip here. So I'll import that and scrub through a little bit and find where the color checker is, and here it is. As you can see, I've placed it into frame right beside the subject's face in the same lighting that is being cast onto the subject. So this looks like a good frame to grab. Just as a frame of reference, I shot this with the Panasonic GH5S in HLG. So it's a Rec 2020 codec or color space, but I'm working on a Rec 709 timeline here. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab a screenshot and we'll set it as a JPEG, and we'll just call it X-rite, and we'll just save that to the desktop. So now let's move over to Resolve, where we want to import that screenshot right here, and we'll throw that on a timeline so that we can move over to color. A couple things have already happened. When you get into Resolve, it'll probably look something like this. So the first thing you want to do is you want to move over here to your color checker panel. And in this drop down right here, you want to choose the specific model that you're using. So data color, and then down here, the X-rite models. I was using the Color Checker Passport video. And then using this drop down, you'll want to choose the color chart option. So you'll see this little grid pop up. And what you want to do is you want to line up each of those squares onto their corresponding section of the color checker. So just takes a second. If you need to zoom in, you can do that. I don't really need to do it for this one. Take a quick look, make sure that it's as centered as can be over each of the squares, which this one is. Great. So now moving on down here, you'll want to double check these settings and make sure that they're all what you want them to be. Again, as I said earlier, this is a Rec 709 image since it came from a Rec 709 timeline. So that is our source gamma. We don't want to transform it, so our target gamma is also Rec 709, and we don't want to change our color space, which again is 709. So the last setting that we need to play with is the color temperature here. So I white balanced this shot using a gray card, and I was using daylight balanced LED lights. So, you know, that is anywhere from like 5500 to 6500. These particular lights I've worked with a lot in the past, and I found that their color temperature is right around 6500. So we'll leave that set as that, but you can easily scroll it up and down like this. So let's get it back to 6500, and then let's hit match. So instantly you can see that the colors become much more natural, and this is a very good representation of what the colors looked like during the shoot. So Now that we have our look established, and I'll toggle it here for you. So here's the native HLG, just very ugly and green tinted and not a whole lot of saturation. And then there's our updated look using our color checker. So let's go over here to this thumbnail and we're going to click Generate 3D LUT. And let's just call that X-rite. We'll save that to the desktop. Let me just make sure if there's anything else I need to do. Nope. So we'll save it to the desktop. And then let's move back over to Premiere Pro. And I'm going to throw an adjustment layer on top of the footage since I'd like to apply LUTs to adjustment layers rather than the footage itself. So we'll go into the color tab, click on our adjustment layer and set it to the LUT that we just created. So you can see it here. It named it something strange. You can always rename it, but we'll choose it here from the desktop and click open. And then instantly you see we have our color corrected clip. Okay, so I've just rendered out a little section of this color corrected clip here. And if we play through, we can see just how nice the colors look. They look natural. They look as vibrant as they were on the day. During the actual shoot, if we turn off this adjustment layer here, you can see again, here is our native HLG footage with all of its ugly greenness. And here we have a much more lively and vibrant image that is accurate to the colors as they were. And that's basically it. It's a really simple little device. It folds open and closed like this to protect it. And then there's also what I imagine is a more robust, like sort of white balance card and then like a focus chart maybe on the other side. I haven't used that side of it yet. It's oddly expensive. I think this was like over $100. I think it's like $120 for this thing. And I think a lot of that just comes down to the quality of the material used in these little colored panels. I'm really careful not to touch these. I don't know if like your skin oils or whatever can leave a residue on that would affect your readings. There are cheaper versions of this available online. Like you can get one on Amazon for like $8. But it doesn't have that same software implementation that's in like Resolve, so I really don't think it's worth it. Thanks for watching this quick video. If you have any questions for me, just please leave them down in the comments below, and I'll catch you next time.